welcome back to Culinary College. My name is Jenny Burchette and I am very excited for today because it is spooky season. I've got my gummy bear apron on. I know you probably can't see it, but it does have gummy bears. So I'm pumped. Today we are going to be making pumpkin cake balls, and yeah, so let's get started. So for today, you are going to be needing flour, sprinkles, because I think sprinkles are always necessary, sugar, baking soda, baking powder, cinnamon, pumpkin pie spice, eggs, vegetable oil, pumpkin puree, butter, cream cheese, vanilla extract, sugar, and chocolate. So let's get baking. All right, so we are going to start on our pumpkin cake, and we're gonna start with our dry ingredients. So you're gonna need 2 cups of flour. There's 1 cup. I just measured out a 2nd cup of flour, so cup number 2. All right, and so to our 2 cups of flour, I'm going to be adding 1.5 cups of sugar. Here's 1 cup of sugar. Lovely. And I got 1/2 cup here. And yes, 1.5 cups of sugar, and I dropped the cup measure. All right, yeah. And to our 2 cups of flour and 1.5 cups of sugar, we are going to be adding 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And then we will be adding 2 teaspoons of baking powder. 1, 2, and then I will be adding 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, 1, 2, beautiful, and then I'm going to be adding just a dash of pumpkin pie spice. Yay! All right, we're just gonna whisk this up. So now that we have our dry ingredients all done, we are going to start with our wet ingredients mixture. But first, I'm going to preheat the oven to 350. All right, so now that we've preheated our oven to 350 degrees, we're gonna wait on that. But first, we are going to mix together our wet ingredients. We are going to start by putting in 3 eggs. Here's 1. Then a 2. And a 3. All right, party. All right, to our 3 eggs, I'm going to add 1 cup of pumpkin puree. And though it does not look all that appetizing at the moment, it will be great. All right, to our eggs and our pumpkin puree, we are going to be adding 1 cup of vegetable oil. There we go. All right, and I'm just gonna pour that in here. Make sure I get all of it. Lovely. All right, and to that, I'm also going to be adding 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, or a little extra, because it's sent. Party. And I'm just going to mix this up until it's all combined. All right, so now that it's all mixed together, and I also just want to say this was so fun to mix together because it's just like so pretty now. It's such a pretty color. Love it. All right, so now we are going to mix our wet ingredients into our dry ingredients. So first I'm gonna get rid of my whisk, and I'm gonna pick up a rubber spatula. Make sure I scrape all the edges and get all of it in here. And And now I'm just gonna mix this all together. All right, so this is looking all mixed together. You wanna make sure that you don't overmix it. So once it's all combined, you're gonna wanna just stop mixing, because the more you overmix it, the more dense your cake is gonna get. So I think it's about time to bake this. So I'm gonna go get a pan. Okay, so I have my 9x13 cake pan that I'm just going to spray down. Make sure nothing sticks. Lovely. And I'm gonna pour all of my pumpkin cake batter into the pan. I never know how to there we go. I'm always afraid I'm gonna drop the bowl. Lovely. I'm just gonna spread it out and make it all even. Beautiful. All right, so now our cake is all ready to go in the oven. This is gonna bake at 350 for 35 minutes. All right, so it has been 35 minutes and I think my pumpkin cake is just about ready to come out of the oven. All right, so I've got my pumpkin cake. Right now it is very hot, but it smells so good. So we're gonna put this aside to cool for a few minutes, and we are gonna get started working on our frosting to make our cake balls, and then the chocolate that we will be dipping them in. So, let's go. All right, so we are going to get started on our frosting. We are going to be needing 8 tablespoons of butter. Boop. Preferably softened. Softened? Yes. And then cream cheese. I just use the whole package. And then I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Or 1, a 2. Awesome, and then I'm going to mix this up a little bit before I put in our powdered sugar. So I have mixed together my butter, cream cheese, and vanilla extract. Usually you would beat this with a stand mixer or a hand mixer or something like that. Unfortunately, I don't have one of those today, so I just used a rubber spatula. But to this, I will be adding 1 cup of confectioner's sugar. Making a mess. All right, there we go. Boop. There we go. And I'm just gonna mix this together until it turns into a kind of a frosting. And the frosting in the cake balls is what's gonna hold everything together. So I have put my pumpkin cake in a bowl, and I'm just gonna crush it up with my hands, because how you make cake pops is you just take a bunch of crushed cake and then you just put frosting in it, and it's bam, cake. So yeah. It's still a little warm, but I have let it cool for a while, so yeah. All right, so I have my cake all crumpled up, and also whenever I make big birthday cakes and I level my cakes to make sure that they're all on the same level with each other, I always take all the leftover crumbs and I crumple them up and I make cake pops with them. So that's always fun to do if you have some extra cake crumbs to make little cake pops. All right, this is all crumpled up, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add my cream cheese frosting into my cake pieces. Awesome. Hold on. There we go. And I'm just gonna mix this up. All right, so I have my cake pop mixture all mixed up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna take some and I'm gonna roll it into a ball. Lovely, and I'm just gonna put them on a sheet pan for now, and then I'm gonna stick them in the fridge for a while just to get cool while I heat up some chocolate to dip them in. So I'm just gonna make a whole bunch of these. This might be like time consuming, but it's all good. It's like relaxing, just rolling them out. All right, so I have some melted chocolate here, and I have my cake pops that have been in the freezer for a while, so they're just nice and chilly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna drop them in the chocolate. I'm gonna roll them around with a fork. Make sure I get some of the excess chocolate off. And then I'm gonna place them on a cooling rack, just so they can get nice and cool. And I'm gonna do that over and over again until all of my cake balls are covered in chocolate. All right, so I've already done a couple of these, but I'm worried that the chocolate is gonna harden, so I'm just gonna sprinkle some sprinkles on right now. Ah, beautiful, sweet. And I'm just gonna keep repeating my process, dipping the cake balls in chocolate and then putting sprinkles on them. So yes, you do wanna put your sprinkles on the cake balls while the chocolate is still wet. And since they are frozen, they will dry a little bit quicker, so just keep that in mind. All right, so we just finished our pumpkin cake balls for our spooky season, and I'm so excited because they look so cute and they're so good. So yeah, look, I'm so cute. Yay. Please let us know if you tried making these at home. We'd love to hear from you. Make sure you follow LCTV on their socials, and you follow the Culinary College on Instagram and TikTok. Happy Halloween, everybody. I've been Jenny Frechette, and you've been watching Culinary College, and I'll see you next time.